Hello everyone, Andrew here, and this video is going to be just taking a look at something that I have been working on lately because, of course, I have a whole bunch of shelves down here, and this one was kind of one of the ones that I wasn't super happy with before. It was kind of a mess, so not too long ago I kind of took everything off and said, you know what, let's reorganize this thing. And yeah, that is where we are now. So I thought, I'd just make a little video about what I have been working on in my spare time and, just have a look at exactly what I have done with these shelves. Now, the top two shelves are pretty much all Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney stuff. My sister is a huge fan of that series, and I am as well, although she kind of beats me out on that. So pretty much all of this is hers, I should say. I got her into it, actually. It's kind of funny because I was a gigantic Ace Attorney fan, and then she started playing the games, and then she kind of just went crazy and collected a whole bunch of stuff for it. So I kind of got her into Ace Attorney, and then she got me into Hotel Dusk and Last Window, but of course, that series kind of ended after 2 games, which really was a shame. But anyway, let's stand on the couch here and let's have a look at some of the things that we can find on these shelves. Yeah, as I said, the first two are, of course, Ace Attorney related, and we have a whole bunch of Ace Attorney games here. So we have them pretty much all in, chronological order. The first one is actually still sealed, which is why the price sticker is still kind of on it there. Yeah, go across here, all the way up to Apollo Justice, Investigations. Investigations 2 only came out in Japan. Ace Attorney 5 came out here in North America, although it did not have a physical release here, so I mean, she had to kind of grab that from Japan. And of course, Phoenix Wright, Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. I always get them mixed up. I always say Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton, but no, it's actually the other way around. Or of course, Professor Layton versus Gyakuten Saiban. That is coming out here in the near future. And I was actually really shocked that it was coming out here at all. So that was why she grabbed the Japanese one. She was just like, nah, it'll never be localized. So that's honestly something that really surprised me. Right here, you have the collectible Phoenix Wright figure that you got if you pre-ordered Ace Attorney 5 in Japan. You're going to see some other Ace Attorney 5 pre-order bonuses as well. Back there, we have the Ace Attorney art book. That was released in North America, which covers games 1 to 4. Here we have the Ace Attorney Investigations art book, which covers Investigations 1 and 2. Here we have Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright art book, and yeah, I haven't even looked through that because that game's not out here. And of course, Ace Attorney 5 art book, and yeah, there actually might be some kind of spoilers on that if you haven't played it yet. But it's been out since what, October now? So yeah, I'll put in the annotation to warn people about that, but it has been out for a little while. Not that's like a major spoiler or anything like that. It doesn't, wreck the ending or something, but it's something that, people might not want to see. Also, here is another Ace Attorney 5 pre-order bonus. It has a kind of a 3DS case holder in it. And yeah, so you could carry it around in that, and everyone would know that you are an Ace Attorney fan. And of course, there's some manga here, both North American and Japanese, and some flyers for the movie, which I actually got to see in a theater in Toronto back when it came out. It was almost over a year ago now. I think it was like, I think it was actually Halloween. I saw it not last year, because now it's January. So that would be in 2012. I saw it, and that was kind of neat to go and see that. But yeah, that's the first shelf here. But if we move down to the second one, and the second one is pretty much all kind of import stuff, it's kind of dark showing up on the camera, although it's easier, everything is better when you look at it in person. But you have the first three Japanese games up there, and then the first 3 European games. This thing on the left here is kind of interesting. If you pre-ordered Ace Attorney 5, you actually got different kind of cover inserts so that you could pick which one you wanted to put in. So, for some reason, you didn't like having Black Quill on the front, you could put Trucy there. But I mean, why the heck would you ever want to do that? And there's 3 of them in there, but those are still sealed. These right here are Japanese Ace Attorney games for the computer. They are still sealed as well. Second one's missing, but it's cool to have any of those at all. To the right here, we have the special edition Ace Attorney 4. And that came with a whole bunch of pre-order, special bonus items. These right here are straps that you can get for your 3DS. And you're supposed to kind of put them around the control stick, and there was a whole bunch of different ones you can get. And they're all random. I'll switch the focus here. So, I mean, you kind of have to buy, a whole bunch of them before you'll eventually get them all, but, if you can just buy them on eBay. Because, of course, you can't buy them here in North America anyway, because, yeah, that's the one thing about Ace Attorney collecting, is if you want to collect for, Ace Attorney stuff, you have to live in Japan pretty much, or, just like, spend all day on eBay, because there's really nothing to collect in North America. I mean, you don't see, you don't get pre-order bonuses with any of the games, there's no special editions, there's none of these strap things that you get out of vending machines. it's really quite sad trying to collect or even enjoy this series in North America compared to what they have in Japan. Right here, of course, we have the Ace Attorney 5 soundtrack. Another thing, soundtracks never come out in North America for video games. Right here we have the Ace Attorney Investigations 1 Premium Edition, which came with a special edition DSi, which had a special design on it, which is really cool. Up here we have Ace Attorney 2 and 3 on the Game Boy Advance, because of course, unlike in North America, they were released on the Game Boy Advance in Japan. That's kind of where the series originated. And then the DS was just kind of supposed to be, a special remake thing, but they never really thought it would, completely take off. So then they were kind of like, oh, we should kind of continue the series, because clearly people like it. Right here we have the Ace Attorney Investigations 2 Special Edition, which comes with a partial soundtrack. Here we have a partial soundtrack of Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright, and the Ace Attorney Investigations 2 soundtrack, which is still sealed, so it kind of has a bad glare there. But overall, it has a fantastic soundtrack. So, Ace Attorney 5 and Ace Attorney Investigations 2 are like two soundtracks that every person should own because they are just that incredible. But yeah, that is the first two shelves. A lot to kind of talk about on those two shelves, because there really is a lot of cool Ace Attorney stuff out there. Just so much like that you don't even realize exists if you only really focus on what comes out in North America. Because heck, we're not even getting physical copies of the games anymore, let alone, soundtracks and all this other really cool bonus stuff. We did get the first art book, though, which is kind of surprising. But if we move down a shelf, we have some Nintendo stuff. We have some plushies, some toys. We have the Wii Mini. I noticed that there's actually another version of that out now. And that includes Mario Kart Wii. That will probably be really rare in the future, but I'm not going to bother. I already have, just the basic Wii Mini in the box, so I don't know if I need to get anything else. Here we have a Wii U box, and it came with New Super Mario Bros. U and Super Luigi U, which is pretty cool. And on the right, we have a few really interesting PlayStation 2 games. Now, let me kind of kneel on the couch here. The Shadow really wrecks that top box. That is Arts Nellico 2, then we have Arts Nellico Special Edition, and then we have Atelier Iris 2 Premium Box, which only came out in Japan. And that includes a really cool music box where you wind it up, and there's the two main characters are kind of standing on it, and they'll spin around, and it will play a music box version of the opening theme, which is really neat. I really like special kind of items like that. I think that, special editions that come with neat physical objects like that are the best. Like, I've never pre-ordered a game where, it's like, get a special costume when you pre-order. It's like, forget that. I want, physical music boxes. Like, I'm not going to pre-order for, something digital. That's just not worth it. And anyway, if we move down here, we actually have some Sega stuff. We have, two different versions of Proto Man there. We have the Sega base system in the box, the Sega Sports Pad in the box, and then just some random, what's it called here, some Sega Master System games I did not have room for on my shelf, and I'll show you that shelf in a second because that is quite full. Over here we have some arcade sticks, and then we have what I recently showed in a video, Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix complete in the box, right there. And I was really happy to add that to my collection. Also, as well, these Mario toys, specifically the three on the left, those used to be, they put them on top of cakes when you bought cakes back in the day, and I was lucky enough to get my hands on those. They're kind of really neat figures that probably aren't too easy to find these days. But yeah, I was lucky enough to have a Mario birthday cake as a kid. So yeah, this is like, one of the most ancient couches you will ever see. This used to be my grandparents. They bought it probably 40 years ago. And then they moved to a condo, so I was like, okay, I'll take the couch. Why not? I probably should get a better one someday. I'd like to get one that kind of pulls out into a bed or something like that, because it's not the most comfortable couch to sleep on, I have to say. Although right here we do have a promotional kind of item that I got from a store, and there would normally be things right here that would have Luigi's Mansion 2 3DS games in it. So, this would be inside the display cabinet at a store, and then you'd be like, okay, I want to buy Luigi's Mansion 2, and then they'd open it up and, take the game off of it. So that was kind of cool. And that's just sitting there right now because it's really, kind of long. There's not really too many good places to put that, and it kind of fit here, so that was where it ended up. Although the next thing I want to look at, we will take a more better look at my arcade machines another day. But I do want to look at the top of this TV, and that the couch faces. I've just placed a whole bunch of random toys on top of here. Interesting Diddy Kong Racing toys. Of course, the two main characters that you would want to have from it, Diddy and Banjo, which is pretty neat. We have Yoshi's. Yoshi's are always awesome. We have, promotional 3DS box with different games on different sides. And then we have Mega Man, because Mega Man is absolutely awesome, and I really love different Mega Man games. Of course, Battle Network is my favorite Mega Man series, and you even have, Mega Man X, An original Mega Man toy, which I actually got new as a kid, and I really beat it up because I played with it a lot, but, you know, that's there too. And just a whole bunch of other random stuff. So yeah, that is kind of the top of this TV, and I cannot move back anymore because I'm going to trip over the couch, but there we go. That's just kind of a look at what I set up on top of my TV. And then to the left of that, we have my kind of stand of Sega stuff. I want to take a quick overview of that. Just kind of look up and down. But yeah, as you can see, I used to just keep my Master System games on the top, although it's kind of full now. If we spin this around, these are of course only, you know, my complete in-case games. I have more loose Master System and Genesis games elsewhere. But yeah, I guess we'll just, you know, take a quick spin around this whole thing so that people can see all the different Sega games that I have complete. Sega, it's something I've never really, you know, said, oh, I want to complete the entire collection. I usually just pick up, you know, interesting games or games that I want to play or games that are pretty rare. And, you know, things like, of course, the 7-in-1 multi-cart. I thought that was really funny when I found it because I love my multi-carts. But overall, Sega Genesis is a very cool system. And I definitely would not mind getting more games for it, although this spinning thing right here is kind of full. So, yeah, I don't really have a super massive amount of room for more games. Let's see, I'm going to kneel down here. Of course, Mutant League Hockey and Mutant League Football are awesome games. Yeah, we're kind of hitting the sports section right now every year. I mean, Genesis had a lot of sports games, but I mean, like, every console did starting at this point. Even the NES had lots of sports games, but it was just more fun collecting sports games when, you know, it wasn't just the same name with a different year at the end. You know, back when it was like, well, I guess you kind of had that with, you know, Bases Loaded, 1, 2, 3, 4, RBI Baseball 1, 2, 3, but then there were other times where it wasn't like that. I don't know what I'm talking about. Andrew just makes stuff up when he's, you know, spinning the kind of Sega cabinet here. I just want everyone to, you know, have a look at some of the Sega games I have, since I don't think I've really gone over my Sega collection before. I think I showed everything in that row. And yeah, I'm kind of on the floor now, so I hope that this turns out okay. But yeah, these are just, you know, Sega Genesis games, because why not? And of course, we have some 32X at the end, and even some Japanese stuff, which is pretty cool. And then we have a few kind of spare things down there. Some empty cases, some spare things, some like small variants that I just don't have any interest in getting rid of. And yeah, just like that, that is my Sega Genesis complete in-box / case collection, as well as Master System. And yeah, so that's kind of just what I was setting up lately. I was organizing that. Of course, it's in alphabetical order. I love everything in my collection to be in alphabetical order. Of course, right here, we have some, you know, some T-shirts. I got this. I think I showed this a few years ago when I got it at Anime North. That was pretty cool. We have, you know, Super Mario T-shirt from Super Mario World. And yeah, so this is just basically what I have been working on in my spare time lately. And I have to admit, I have not had a lot of spare time lately. Things have been crazy. I haven't even really been able to play the games that I got for Christmas too much. School has just been mad. And then there's been some other things I've had to take care of. And yeah, so I've been quite busy at the moment. But I hope that things will be back to normal soon. I know that there weren't too many videos this week, but hopefully that changes once I get a few kind of big things that I've been dealing with out of the way. And hopefully that will be soon. But yeah, hopefully you... I know that me, you know, running around the room with the camera doesn't always turn out the best. But I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you found the things that I had to show in this video interesting. So thank you very much for watching, hope you enjoyed, and hope to see you next time for something different. So thanks, and see you later.